Hi everyone, Donna here. I'm the owner here at Bookkeeping Made Simple. Um, Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about money mindsets. For those of you who are wondering, I usually am beautifully made up, but LASIK surgery on Friday, not going to be able to put makeup on until after New Year's, so you'll have to deal with my bare face and lip color, and that's it. Which kind of brings me to the money mindset thing. And it's one of the things I think is really critical, because when you talk to yourself, you're listening. And that sounds really woo, woo, woo and out there, but it's actually true. We track your finances. We talk to business owners about what they can do to help themselves make more money. But what I've really found is that the people that make a lot of money are the people that have the mindset that they're going to make a lot of money. They already know. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter if they're ditch diggers or if they're CEOs. They already have the mindset that there's enough and to spare. And it's interesting to me because I come from a family where my dad grew up very, very poor. They really hadn't had money. They were little family farm. They weren't quite as poor as Dad made them out to be, but they, a family of 4 boys. He was born in '39, so right at the beginning of World War II, and they did without quite a bit, like many families. My mother is the youngest of 2 girls. Her dad was also in a skilled trade, but it was a much rarer one at the time. Well, it doesn't even exist anymore. And then he was injured on the job and was unable to work. Her mother then became the breadwinner. Okay, so basically, they came from the same amount of money. But the mindsets in both families were very different. And it's carried through. I really, really see the difference in how my mother approaches money and how my father approaches money. Mom has actually quite a healthy mindset. She buys what she buys the very best that she can afford because she knows it's going to last a long time. And so in the end, it's going to be cheaper as far as outlay of money. And that was one of the things that I determined with my surgery. I have had past tense, extreme myopia, which means that I could see at 20 feet what most people could see at 20,000 feet. So like from over 2 miles away. That was how bad my vision was. I have literally walked into walls because I couldn't see them. They were, it was a dark room. I have a hard time explaining to people just how bad my vision was. So if I had lost a contact, and I've had this happen where I've been riding on a motorcycle and had one of my contacts fly out of my eye. That's scary enough if you have to drive a car. It's impossible to drive a motorcycle back, being able to see out of one eye. And extremely, extremely dangerous. So I was beyond legally blind. The only saving grace was that it was correctable. I literally could not function if I didn't have glasses or contacts. So, and it costs about $1,000 a year to keep my eyes healthy with glasses and contacts, to keep my, prescriptions, glasses, contacts, contact lens solution, eye drops, all the things that go with that. And the risk of something going wrong, with the contacts or with the glasses, or if you are yourself nearsighted, you know what I'm talking about. It's expensive. It's expensive. So I kind of did the math and I said, in 2 years, LASIK will have paid for itself. I will have spent that much almost in contacts, eye exams, glasses, frustration, irritation, waste of time, and everything else. And yet there's other people who would say, oh, but you you know, you shouldn't have spent the money. My dad was one. You shouldn't have spent the money. Well, I was spending the money anyway. Okay, so that's what's called a cost-benefit analysis, by the way. That's what they call it in business. So I looked at the cost, and I looked at the benefits, and I looked at what I was already spending. Okay. And I did a mental cost-benefit analysis. My LASIK was only about $3,000, which is incredibly cheap right now, for as bad as my vision was. So I looked at that and said, that's like 2, maybe 3 years of glasses and contacts. And if anything goes wrong in the supply chain, and I can't get contacts, then I'm helpless. If anything, you know, if I'm out hiking and I lose contact, I'm helpless. If I'm out on the motorcycle and I lose, I mean, there's so much frustration, and you have to include that in your cost-benefit analysis. There's a ton of frustration that goes with not being able to see. So my mom was totally supportive. My dad was focused on cost, not on the benefits. And this is not to bash my dad. It's just the way he is. I adore my father. But it is to kind of point out that a lot of times people get hung up on cost. They don't look at benefits. And it's because they have a scarcity mindset. They're afraid to let money go because they don't think money's going to be coming in. As you change your mindset, when you start to understand that everything with money is relative, okay? That's the first thing I would suggest, is to realize that money is relative. It is not an absolute. I remember when $20 to me was a fortune when I was a young adult. I remember when $20 was a fortune. I remember when getting a $300 paycheck was just unbelievably amazing amount of money. I made like, how much did I make? $3.35 an hour. My very first job working for McDonald's, and I thought I was just incredibly wealthy, you know, because I hadn't had any money prior to that. I'd had allowances and I'd had babysitting money, but I hadn't had that check. And I worked really hard for it. I remember when I would babysit as a young teenager, and the couple that I babysat for would pay me in like silver dollars, so they'd pay me in quarters. A lot of them, they'd pay me well, but because it was in coins rather than a $20 bill, which is about what they would pay me a night, it was easier for me to spend $20 in quarters or $20 even in silver dollars than it was for me to have to break a 20, because a $20 bill to me represented a large amount of money. Today, $20 to me is not much. It is still $20, okay? It buys a little bit less today. Some expenses have gone up, some expenses have gone down, but now my perception, this is all perception of how much a lot of money is, has changed. It's gone up. And with that, my perception of what I can achieve in earnings has gone up. Okay. I know a lot of people who are really stuck in what they're doing and what they are making currently because they can't get out of this scarcity mindset. So they continue to buy old cars. And I don't mean fun old cars. We have a 32 Chevy. That's a fun old car. I'm talking about old broken down cars that really probably should go to the Cash for Clunkers program if that's still around. They really are clunkers. They're not hot rods. They're not rat rods. They're not anything fun. They're just the best they think they can afford. Another example of a cost-benefit analysis would be when I bought my most recent car. I had a couple of minivans, and for years I hadn't had a car payment because my parents had given me one of their cars that they were done with that was still in really good shape, and so I drove that for a good 5 years. And so when I decided that I wanted a new car, I wanted a smaller car, started kind of defining what I wanted. I wanted a smaller car. I was looking at the Chevy Cruze, among others. I kind of have a thing for American cars. I generally buy American. So I was kind of weighing out, do I even want to have a car payment? This is not going to be like I had a car payment 20 years ago. It's going to be more. And do I even want a car payment? And then when I sat down and did the cost-benefit analysis, I realized I would save more in gas than my car payment would be. And that's a really important thing to look at. A lot of people have a hard time making the outlay because they don't understand what the benefits of that outlay is. It can be tangible, like fuel costs, like the cost of contacts and glasses, like it can be intangible, like maybe the frustration of sitting blind for 2 days while you're waiting for your contact lenses to arrive in the mail. And this has happened. It wasn't the fault of my contact supplier, but I lived in apartments, and my mail carrier had left the box of contacts that I had ordered on my front porch, which was really common. I'd never had problems before. But for some reason, that day, either they blew away or one of my neighbor's kids picked up the box, opened all the contacts, destroyed it, and I was left waiting for another couple of days while I worked with the contact lens supplier. By the way, it was 1-800-CONTACTS. They were fabulous, to get me another box right away. As it wasn't, even though it wasn't their fault, it wasn't my fault, they have this awesome guarantee on it. But that meant that was another couple of days that I was either dealing with dirty contacts or I just plain wasn't able to see. Okay. So if you factor in the intangibles as well, you have to really look at what are you paying for. Are you paying for better gas mileage that may cover a car payment? Are you paying for peace of mind? That's a really common thing, and I tell my clients a lot that really what you're paying for with us is peace of mind. I've been doing this for years, and I have been training my staff how to do things the way I've always done them. And as I've gone through my degree program and I've learned to do things better, I've incorporated that. So you get the benefit of my knowledge, my experience, my education, in my processes and procedures. So one of the things I would challenge you is to stop saying, can't afford it, don't have the money. I would challenge you to start saying, well, what is the cost-benefit analysis? Really look at it. I have, with the LASIK, it was a no-brainer. With my car, it was a no-brainer. I did end up getting a Chevy Cruze. It was 3 years old when I bought it. I've had it for 5 years, and I've loved it. I'm starting to look at, maybe it's time to upgrade. But again, there's a cost-benefit analysis I need to do, and I haven't done it yet. It's just not a purchase I want to rush into. But there are things that I really want to do to improve not just my finances, but then you add in safety. There's a certain element of appearance. I am vain. I have to factor that in. Look at the things that are important to you. Look at the things that are, comfort. Is the car still comfortable? Is it still getting good gas mileage? Is the check engine light on? If you're looking at a car purchase. I tease my boyfriend all the time because he has an Audi, the same year as my Chevy Cruze. And I tease him and say, but I can get parts for mine. And he just kind of laughs and says, but mine doesn't break down. So there is and honestly, everybody looks at his car and freaks out that it's such a nice car. He paid the same he actually paid less for his car than I did for mine. So the price was the same, but his is more comfortable. It has more features. It has the features that we're really interested in. So don't go into making financial decisions without really understanding your money mindset. Do you have a hard time letting go of money? Do you believe that money comes to you quickly and easily? Do you have an understanding of how money works? A lot of people quote Dave Ramsey to me, and he has some nuggets of wisdom. I don't want to completely write him off, but I do feel like he has a scarcity attitude of, well, thou shalt never have credit. And I thought, well, I'm not sure that's a healthy mindset. A healthy mindset would be, I pay off my credit card every month. You know, I have a car that I can pay off, that I choose to finance because I'm building credit or I want to leverage the money. Those are healthier attitudes towards money than the one that Dave Ramsey has. Not putting him down for those who have serious shopping addictions or serious credit card addictions. He can be very helpful and useful, but use that philosophy as a stepping stone to an even healthier money mindset. My mindset very much is money flows to me, and it flows back out in helpful. The business term is ordinary and what is it? Ordinary and necessary. In helpful ways. It flows back out in ways that benefit me and my business and the people that I work for. So pay attention to your mindset about money. This is very much the time of year where we are expecting abundance, unless we're not. We are, you know, the kids are expecting Santa to leave gifts under the tree. And I'm here to tell you, Santa can be coming every day in your mindset, because when you straighten out your money mindset, money flows to you. And it is a truly wonderful feeling when you understand that money shows up when you want it to show up, if you truly believe that it does. Just some food for thought this Christmas season. I will put up a video tomorrow, and then I will be taking the rest of the week off for the Christmas holiday. I will also, next week is New Year's, so we will be taking New Year's Eve and New Year's Day off, so both Thursday and Friday, as we're gearing up to start 2021 with abundance and joy and all the things that we want to have happen this coming year. And I really am holding the mindset that the economy is going to go up, that it's going to be a wonderful time for small business to recover, and that we'll be able to regain the ground that we lost in 2020. That's it for today. Please feel free to give us a call. Our number at the office is 801-692-0032. We're happy to help with any bookkeeping, accounting, payroll, or tax questions. For those of you who may be wondering, no, I am not a CPA, and I don't do things that CPAs, that you have to be a CPA to do, but I do accounting, payroll, bookkeeping, and tax. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.